It was in December 1998, when I was in Gran Canaria, that I bought myself a Christmas present of a widescreen camcorder. Up until then I'd been using this camcorder, which I gave to 12-year-old Mike, and he carried on filming during our holiday. At this time there was no specific recording or broadcast system for sending out widescreen pictures, so some tricks were used by the camera maker. The Panasonic camera I bought had an anamorphic lens. Now you don't need to worry about what that does, just to understand that up until this point all pictures on TV were squarish with a ratio of 4:3. Now you multiply those numbers by 3 and you have 9 units high, let's call them inches, and 12 units or inches wide, and then widescreen makes it wider still, and so you have a ratio of 16:9, which is what it's called today. The anamorphic lens would squash down the 16:9 wide picture into the box that is 4:3 from that era, and then when you play it back you stretch it again to make it look widescreen. So a few days into the holiday I found a camera in a local shop in a tax-free island. It was a lot cheaper, so this camera that Mike is now using I replaced with the one you can see in my hand here. So Mike is filming me on the old square camera, and then I film him on my new widescreen camera, and we both very wisely put our cameras on the wall because we don't have a tripod. When you're in a warm sunny place like Puerto Rico in Gran Canaria, you eat all your meals out, and this is us having breakfast in a commercial centre, and the Canaries at the time were proper tax-free islands, so everything was cheaper, and I bought the new camera at quite a saving on the UK price. The commercial centre that I bought it in was also where we were having breakfast at this point. So let's take the camera out on an excursion, and this was a sunset cruise which took us way out into the ocean and over quite near to Tenerife. So as you watch this video you may see Mount Teide, the volcano which is actually the high point of Tenerife. There's some beautiful pictures, and it doesn't matter what technology we've got and whether this is an old tape in standard definition or what, somehow sunsets just look brilliant. This was a really decent sized catamaran, and did I mention it was Christmas? Had a decent bar. They served us a hot buffet halfway through the evening, and unfortunately Mike didn't take any pictures that night because something in the buffet made him ill. Every camera and camcorder I've owned over the last 20 years, I've always taken it out at night to see what it was like, and nothing much has changed in that respect. The only thing you can see on your film or tape or whatever is what's lit up. None of them can see in the dark, certainly not in the £500 consumer range that I can buy in, probably not even in the £5,000 range. Perhaps a budget of £50,000 that a broadcast company has will get them some good after dark pictures. But we won't worry about that. £500 quite enough for me to spend on bringing you these videos. On a couple of my previous Canary Island videos you'll have seen camels in the background. Well, this time they're getting the feature. Mas Palomas, which is a kind of desert area, is where we went for the camel trek this day. Now, my video is taken from a camel's back, so it's a bit shaky. There was an official videographer who was following us round, but he disappeared for 10 or 15 minutes at a time, and we found out later why. Just over the sandhills, I can't remember if it's to the left or the right, is a nudist beach. We think he took his camera there. The nightlife and the range of restaurants and bars in most Spanish resorts is pretty much the same. Here's a feature we haven't showed you before, but it is quite common. Happy Hair is the name of this vendor, and our Colette is having her hair happied. And here we are on the balcony of our apartment, and this is our last full day here in Gran Canaria. We're hoping to go down into town today, go to the water park, if Michael's feeling better, but judging by the way he's eating now, I think he is. We're actually leaving here tomorrow morning, about lunchtime in fact, to fly home to cold old England. We're making the most of this weather while we can. There are water parks like this in a lot of foreign resorts as well, but we haven't shown you one yet, so here it is, the Token Water Park. And I was still testing the new camera. Now, I did say that in those days there wasn't the editing facilities and the special effects on your computer, but you did have special effects built into your camera, so I was having a play with them as well. You can do fades and effects to make things go black and white. You can even make people look very blurred. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. The thing is, once they're on the video, you can't take them off again. I much prefer today's scenario where I shoot clean video and decide whether I want to add some effects when I get home. So that was 1998, the year that I switched from square pictures to widescreen. In next month's Canary Corner, I'll be switching from standard definition to high definition.